My uncle said that. I looked at him. I said, "Man, that season, Auntie gonna outlive us all." I was like the Queen of England up in this piece, right? I was almost outlive
Right,
Charles, right?
right. But like, who gonna take over the family? Nobody. She's still here.
Right. Shoot, man. I'm gonna get my shout out in to the South Carolina women's basketball team. Still undefeated. Everybody's still chasing them. Okay, that's done. Yay. Shout out Don Staley.
Shout out
Yeah,
to
man.
Dawn Staley. I
Anybody
did not know she was an Eagles fan until this weekend.
who Don?
He's from Philly.
She's from Philly. She's from North Philly, I think.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, she's from
Yeah, I had no idea.
yeah, when I got, my buddy invited me to go to the Super Bowl party last year. Oh, she was Phillied out, bro. I mean, because at the game, because they had a game against LSU that day, and then
Okay.
and then they had the
And she
Super
had
Bowl
her
party.
Philly jersey on.
And she put her Philly jersey on. She had a like a custom like Philly jersey, a Hertz joint, and then somebody
Okay.
made her this like big eagle gold chain, like Dookie bracelet, and it had the eagle. You know what I'm saying? The eagle
Legal on it.
single, yeah. And so she wore that to the game and to the Super Bowl party. She was rocking it at the game. Dawn off
That's
the chain.
hilarious.
She was
I
like
love, I
somebody
love
made.
it.
She
Oh, I
said,
mean, I love her, but like I said, I didn't know she was from Philly. But
yeah,
on Countdown, on Sunday on Countdown, they had her pop up to make her pick for the Giants Eagles game.
mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I thought, oh, she's an Eagles fan. And even then, they didn't want like she's from Philly. I was just like, oh, she's an Eagles fan. Great. So yeah, I didn't know she was from Philly. But that was
Yeah. She's everything too. Sixers, Phillies, everything. She's all in on
as
that.
it should be.
Right,
As it should
right.
be.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, if you're from there, why not? But
Yeah, I mean, like if you're from, then you don't really get a vote if you're from the city. Like,
I get that. I get that. But y'all watched that game last night? I didn't really watch it that much. The
I
Michigan.
did not.
I
I
did not.
stood I stood 10 toes down on I was not gonna watch not one playoff game after they screwed over Florida State.
Yeah, I understand
haven't
that.
seen one.
I watched it. I think I watched a little bit of the first quarter because I wanted to see. And honestly, I was watching something else, and I had the game on my iPad, like I had it here, and I can't remember what else I was watching. It was something else going on, but I saw Penix out there, and he looked like he was struggling, and then he was missing throws, and I was like, okay, this is how this gonna go tonight, because it wasn't like Michigan played a solid football game. Like from what I saw, they played a solid football game. They played a game where they probably would beat most teams, but it didn't look like Penix had his best day. I mean, I saw the stat line, and you know me, I'm a numbers, I'm a stat person. I'm looking at the stats, and
Right.
at one point, I think he was 27 of 51. So he had 24 incompletions. Like
Yeah, I
it was
didn't.
showing some of the
I didn't
incompletions,
see
like
the
he was
game,
missing guys wide open and
apparently,
stuff. I was like, dang, man.
but apparently they didn't. They stayed in the game until like almost the end of the fourth quarter. Like the score,
Yeah,
according to what they were saying on the shows today, this morning when I was watching it, the score really doesn't show how close Washington was in the game.
yeah, yeah.
Because I do remember at halftime I got a notification on my phone and the score was like 20 to
Yeah,
13.
they was only down 7.5, and basically what they were saying is because like I said, I was watching it on and off.
Mm-hmm.
It stayed a one score game, but it just seemed like Washington. It stayed a one score game, and then Washington had a chance to tie it or do something, missed the throw on third down or something. Then Michigan gets the ball back, they score, and then they're up 10. And then when they went up 10, to your point, it really wasn't like Michigan was running away with it, but Washington just couldn't score. They just could not score. And at one point, the defense was like, okay, we can't hold these dudes anymore. And then I think Michigan got another touchdown and then kind of stretched it out, and that's basically what the margin
Yeah,
was.
because I
But
think
yeah,
that's what on NFL. I don't know what it was. I might have been on NFL Countdown. They were where they talked about it because they were trying to figure out if Harbaugh was losing to Michigan.
he's out.
Yeah, not NFL Countdown, NFL Live.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Marcus Spears was saying he was like honestly he was like Washington played a really good game. He was like just at the end of the game he was like they ran out of gas.
Yep,
He was
that's
like, look,
exactly what it looked. That's
he was like, he said,
exactly what it
he
was.
was like, but about, I think he said like about 5 minutes left in the game. He said you could see that the team on both sides of the ball was gassed.
I just wish Penix would have played better because his stock had gone up, and I wanted, I'm always, cats, young brothers trying to see them do well, and I wanted him to kind of shine a little bit. I mean, it's not that he doesn't have the skill set, but when you play a team that's coached by quote unquote an NFL coach, that the talent, Michigan does have talent. I know they had the little scandal stuff going on. They got pros on that team, potential pros. I just wanted to see him shine. Even like you said, even if he would have lost by a touchdown or whatever, I wanted to see his shine. I would have loved for his stats to have been like 35 or 51 for 3 touchdowns and a loss, instead of being, having almost 30 incompletions and throwing a couple. You know what I'm saying? It was just seeing some of the throws. So I hope, I don't know where he's going to fall on the draft board now, because they were trying to move him up. People were getting a little carried away talking about he was better than Caleb Williams. I was like, he's good.
Right. And see, and even though his game the previous week was amazing, I still never had him out of he was projected in the beginning to be a second round QB, and I still think he's a second round.
But here's the key though. He's probably one of those guys that if you pick him in the second round and you put him on the bench for a few years, we wouldn't be surprised that he might be okay. Right. Like a very serviceable, better than average, could still get you in the playoffs and might win a few games, quarterback down the line. So we'll see. But yeah, I like I said, to your point, I wasn't trying to give it too much of a burn. I think I only watched it to see if Penix would do well and those receivers would do well against Michigan. That was it. So yay, Harbaugh boy 1-1. Okay. Good for him. And yeah, he's probably going to leave. But the curiosity is where is he going to go? So what's the openings right now? So we got what? Atlanta? Arthur Smith going
on. Atlanta, Tennessee.
Okay.
Carolina.
Washington. All the ones we call, basically. All the ones everybody.
No, we didn't call Tennessee.
No, not Tennessee. You're right. We didn't call
Tennessee.
That was a surprise. That was a surprise.
And the Chargers has been open. The Raiders has been open. But if they don't go ahead and just make Antonio Pierce the coach, like they don't need to interview nobody else. Stop playing. Get that man a job. Like it should have. Like the Raiders shouldn't even still be on the board as an opening at this point. Like
it's amazing to me. It's amazing.
He should have been the first dude hired. It's
amazing to me how stuff like that, like you still sit here and you still think in the back of your mind that Mark Davis would. I mean, is it Mark Davis? It's not Mark Davis.
It's Mark Davis.
It's Mark Davis. Yeah, Mark Davis. Look, all them great moves you've done with the Aces. Don't do another stupid move with the Raiders. Just go ahead and hire that man.
Right, like hire that man. Like quit playing.
What's the worst that happen? You hire him for 2 years, put him on an extension clause or something, and in 2 years you want to go somewhere else in direction. Fine. 2 years, he win you some games, extend them. Move on. Nothing done. So yeah, I'm with you on that. But like I said, I saw the Vrabel one, and I was like, okay, we ain't heard nothing out of New England yet. But I'm like, is Vrabel?
Somebody said something about Belichick is still in the contract. Is that true?
Yeah, he's got 1 more year in the contract.
He's got 1 more year in his contract.
So they either have to fire him. He either has to quit or they trade him. So there's technically 3 options, and they said trading him. Well, it was one of them. They said that they really don't want to do to him. They don't want to fire him, quote unquote,
right?
To put that on his resume. And so now the question: will he be stubborn enough not to quit? Because if not, then they would have to trade him if he doesn't stay. And if he doesn't stay, which is the 4th option, if he stays.
Well, yeah. Well, and they were also saying, which is why I was surprised about the Tennessee thing, because they were saying originally that Tennessee wanted to trade Vrabel to the Patriots.
Like swap him?
Yeah. And so, but then they just fired him, I guess because allegedly him and the GM don't see eye to eye.
Yeah, that's what I read too, yeah. So I'm curious if the whole thing is going to go down where, I mean, I personally... I wouldn't be surprised if they say Belichick running back one more time.
That's probably where it's going to end up on.
Well, and 2, because they were also saying that, I guess the rumors are out there that Josh McDaniels is coming back as the OC. And really, Josh McDaniels was a good OC. He just sucks as a head coach.
Agreed. What if Vrabel back as the DC? And they get the whole bit, and they get part of it.
But I think Vrabel could actually get another head coaching job this season
Agreed.
and be good.
Agreed.
Like,
Agreed.
He's not one of those guys where I'm like, he doesn't deserve a second opportunity. He was trash. He's a good head coach.
I agree.
I was shocked they fired
him. The guys play. You could tell those guys play for him. That was the one thing you could say about Tennessee. They may not at times have had certain talent, or they got Ryan Tannehill. You might get a good Tannehill one day, another bad Tannehill another day.
Right.
But
they were gonna ball for him all the time.
Them dudes would play. They played for him. They played every down for that dude. So
his beating up on Jacksonville in a meaningless game on Sunday.
Man.
Listen, and getting the Steelers into the playoffs.
That was funny.
That was funny.
I was like, these dudes, certain things that happen. I was like, shoot, you depending on the Dolphins to win. You better hope the Titans win, because it ain't happening. I already knew what was gonna go down in Miami. I was pissed because they actually act like they wanted to win the damn game, and then I was like, oh shoot.
And then
I really wasn't blaming the game on the injuries. Honestly, I was blaming it more on the coaching of the injuries. We just can't coach around that stuff. Like to your point, I mean,
I thought y'all were okay, and we're gonna figure out a way to win it until your man popped that punt return.
But here's my point, Lenise, and I'm to jump to that game. You gotta get out your own head sometimes. You do not have the personnel every single play to throw it deep. My God, there's parts of the other field that's open, and it's like just hard-headed, just cover shell 2, cover 3. We gonna still throw it down. And if you notice, the passes that Tyreek Hill caught were in the middle, in front of the safety. Stick with that. Throw it there, right there. Right. No, we're gonna throw it to the outside deep here, outside deep. And what happened? Pick. Almost got Tariq killed on this one play. I was like, Mike McDaniel's hard-headed. He just hard-headed. Oh, by the way, our running backs average over six yards a run that game. Or we just ain't gonna run the ball. We just ain't gonna run the ball. It's Josh Allen. He's giving us the game, guys. He's actually handing the game to us. He's doing the Josh Allen right now. He's
3 turnovers.
Handing the game to us. Even with the punt return, we still could have won that game. Still could have won that deal. So
yeah, because I think it was the second pick. I was like, oh, Josh Allen is gonna be Josh Allen today.
Yeah, he being Josh Allen. He's being Josh. And you notice in the second half they started to tell him to run the ball more. It's like, dude, when in doubt, just run.
Right. Stop just throwing that out there.
Messing around. Yeah, you messing around and trying to get his game to these boys. But then Tua did his version of Josh Allen. And that's that. And like I said, I love Tua, but for all the yards and everything, he's been in that gunslinging mode as well. He had a lot of picks this year, and I personally am not going to sit here and pretend I think that we got a shot to beat KC. Even though KC has not shown us anything that makes you scared of them, there's one thing that they have in this one game coming up against the Dolphins that the Dolphins can't do anything about. It's called 10-degree weather.
I'm sorry, sir. I thought it was -10 degrees.
Oh, was it -10? It might be.
I think at kickoff it's supposed to be -10.
Look.
Because y'all are the 8 o'clock. Y'all are the late game.
Which is crazy to me.
Y'all are like, yeah,
that's so dirty. Oh, that's so dirty.
Yeah, because it's supposed. Yeah, y'all are the late game. It's like 8 o'clock out there.
Oh my God, I saw that. I was like, that is so freaking dirty. They gonna put the coldest game of the weekend at night.
Well, listen, and evidently they don't want nobody to watch it because it's streaming only.
Are you serious? Oh, well, they just.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yep, it's on Peacock because I made a post about that yesterday.
Oh, well, I won't be watching it. Oh, well.
I said, y'all let me know how this Dolphins
the next year
game turned
out. So I
gotta
watch it for the fam. That's what y'all saying?
If you got Peacock, I don't think we got.
I got it. Yeah.
I'll check with my daughters because we try to do that whole. Oops, we're recording, ain't we? Sorry, ain't nobody from this. No, we don't do that. We don't share. No, we don't. But I think
Peacock has a problem with that. Go ahead.
Might have it. Shoot.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. Now they might. Now, depending, I guess, on what it looks like, they might change it and bump it and put it on NBC. But all night on Sunday night, they kept saying you can't get it on NBC, and they had the QR code up there. Scan the QR code to get your Peacock and blah blah. And I was like, I am not
No,
Getty
They're
if
not
that's the
bumping.
case.
They're
If
not
that's the case, I'm gonna tell you right now. Y'all know I'm a fan, and I was rooting for this team this year. We've had a lot of injuries. I could see where there's a lot of improvement need to be made. We still got the talent. We could probably be right there in the hunt next year. I'm not watching that damn game. I'm not getting on Peacock and watching that game. I'm not doing that to myself.
Right. I was because my thing is I said, first of all,
No.
if it's in Kansas City and it's that cold, I don't expect the game to go that well that long to be competitive.
But even if it doesn't go that well that long, let's just say Kansas City don't play well. I still don't want to watch an ugly game that they still gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to watch a 40-10 blowout, and I don't want to watch a 13-10 ugly game that they still lose. I don't want to watch any game. You understand?
And not to pay for it.
Yeah,
Look,
not to pay for it. Yeah. I'm gonna pay for that.
Look,
I happen to have
please and thank you. I pay enough for cable. I should be able. And my thing is, if I'm like, okay, if y'all want to do that dumb stuff during the regular season for a game on Thursday night or whatever, fine, whatever. But it's the playoffs. Everybody should have access to the playoffs without having to pay for it. That is stupid.
Nah,
and I was like, I'm absolutely not going to do that. I'm not going to watch it. And I hope they have more ratings so that they don't do that again.
If it's not on NBC, I won't see it. It's all good. So remind me of these matchups. I know the AFC, so Baltimore's chilling. Dolphins go to KC.
The Texans play the Browns.
Ooh, that's going to be a pretty – I think that might be a pretty
And the Browns go to Texas, don't they?
Yeah, the Texans won the South when the Jaguars lost.
Yeah. So
when the Jaguars lost, the Texans actually – the Texans was in the playoffs when they beat the Colts.
The Steelers are playing Buffalo in Buffalo. The Steelers are playing Buffalo in Buffalo.
Hey.
That's the AFC. For NFC, Green Bay is going to Dallas.
Right. And then the
Chargers, not the Chargers. Right? The Rams are going to Detroit.
And y'all go
and
to
the Eagles are going to Tampa Bay.
Okay. Y'all need to stop messing around. Stop messing around with these. What's good? Look, I'll be honest with you. I was watching the game. I ain't trying to be funny or nothing. I turned on the game. I was like, oh, they didn't play their starters? Because I was still recovering from the red-eye flight. I was sleeping. A pattern was off. I woke up.
What time did you turn on the game?
I think it was maybe it was late second quarter or something. I was like, they did.
Well, now we did pull our starters in the second quarter.
You did, but what my point was when I watched the score.
Because AJ Brown got hurt in the second quarter.
Because when I was watching the game, I saw the score, and my first thought was, "Oh, they just gave up. They just gave this game up." But then I said, "Wait a minute, did they win the division?" And then it started all coming back to me. Right, I started getting my bearings back. I was like, "Wait a minute, jet lag is rubbing off here. It's okay. What the hell are the Eagles doing? What the hell are they doing?"
Listen, dog, I don't know. And like one of my boys that I go watch the game with, like he was frustrated and he just kept screaming. He was like, "It's embarrassing." And I was like, "Dog, I'm not embarrassed." I was like, "I'm frustrated." I was like, "I'm frustrated. I'm not embarrassed, but I am completely frustrated." And because of course we went to, the game wasn't on TV here in Charlotte. They had the Commanders and Cowboys on.
Right.
On TV, and then I can't remember the other game that was on TV. Like there was two games on it for.
I think the Panthers and the
No, the Panthers were at 1 o'clock. All NFC South
you talking about the 4 o'clock
game?
Some of the 4 o'clock game. Okay.
Yeah. It was Green Bay. Green Bay and the Bears was the other game that was on TV. So it was Green Bay and the Bears that were on TV, and then the Commanders and the Cowboys were on TV. So we went to the sports bar, of course. So, but there were people there in the sports bar, and they yelling and screaming, talking about fire and the coaches and all of that stuff. And I had a full-on meltdown rant in the
Oh God! Did anybody report?
Because one, and this is how you know folks are frustrated. This is how you know folks are frustrated, because one, we weren't on TV, and there were absolutely division at the time the game started. The division was still on the line,
right?
And the sports bar wasn't packed. Like when my boy got there, he got there like right at kickoff, and he walked in and he said, "I knew it was gonna be a problem when I pulled up and I could park anywhere I wanted to." I was like, "Yeah, it's a bad day." I was like, "The fans is tired. They sick and tired. because then was like, there's no way for people to watch the game, and people were just like, oh, I'm just not coming to watch this game. I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna stress myself out. But those of us that was there, we stressed ourselves out. And I had a full-on rant because they were talking about firing the coaches, and I was like, nah. I was like, we're at the part of the season where players make plays. This is where you earn your paycheck. Ain't no firing the coaches. You can't coach anybody else up at week 18. It's not coaching, it's effort. It's not coaching, it's effort.
You got a good point.
Yeah, it's not coaching, it's effort, and it's
pride. And it's pride. I add a third one. I add a third one.
And we aren't giving any of that, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And after and when I watched the Seattle game, that Seattle game on Monday night, that night we didn't go to the sports bar to watch the game. I was like, nope, I'm gonna stay home. So, because even though the game was on TV, because it was Monday night, but I was like, I'm gonna stay home and watch the game. And that night, I was like, I ain't gonna be stressed. However this game plays out, I'm gonna know exactly what I'm working with here with my team. And when that game was over, I was like, okay, I got it. We don't have no dogs on defense. We ain't killers, so don't push us. And I've accepted that. Okay, I've made peace with that. I was just like, we're not killers, so don't push us. The dogs on defense. And the change that they made with Matt Patricia, I don't know why anybody thought that was going to be a good idea. Because the reality is this: the last time we saw Matt Patricia with his hands on the defense, they were 32nd overall in the league. So what was he going to fix? I was like, he took over defense, and defense got worse. It got worse under him than it was under Sean Desai. And one of the reasons it's worse is stop putting Hassan Reddick in coverage. That man is one of the best pass rushers in the league.
But I'm just saying, like, how does Matt Patricia keep getting jobs, bro? Like, this is so stupid. When we hired him in the off season as a consultant, I didn't even know what that was about. I was like, so I'm just like, I don't know what we're doing, and I don't. At this point, I'm halfway like let it just be over. But that's kind of how I feel. I'm being honest with you, Lenise.
Like,
if they told me right now the Dolphins don't even fly
to my world.
But what I'm saying is,
it's the principle of the matter. If I'm gonna lose in the playoff, I don't want to lose before Dallas. It's the principle of the matter.
You taking it there? We ain't got nothing like that going on. I don't care about that.
And honestly, and I hate it so bad.
Say it.
One of my coworkers who's a Cowboys fan, but he's a rational Cowboys fan. You know, they're hard to come by. They're hard to come by.
They exist.
He might be the first one I've ever met.
Is his best friend Bigfoot and his other best friend Loch Ness Monster? Like what?
Right.
I mean,
it's a weird thing. But I did tell him yesterday when I saw him in the office, you know, he was like, you doing okay? I was like, bruh. He was like, I understand. And I was like, dog, I gotta be honest. Like, y'all are clicking on all cylinders at the right time. And he was like, yeah, but we've done this before. And I was like, but you can't tell that it feels different this year?
No, I don't think it feels different.
It does. And the only reason it feels different to me is because Dak's swag and confidence is different than it's ever been before. His confidence when he is talking to the media and talking about the game and all of that, it hit different this time than it ever has before.
Hey,
now, don't get me wrong.
Because of the way he talks, we're gonna say it's different.
Every single week, I am absolutely pulling for, and I'm gonna be the biggest Packer fan this coming weekend. Would nothing do me better than for Jordan Love to go in there and upset the Cowboys? Don't get me wrong.
I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it don't, because Jordan Love has been tossing it a little bit. But the only reason I say I don't think is that difference. I mean, if you want to say the way he's addressing the media is different, I'll give you that. They had a number one offense 2 years in a row 4 years ago. And Dak was playing. That's how he got that contract. They were balling. And they, in my opinion, had better players other than CD Lamb. Like,
they did. They had better players. But again, the difference in what I see when I see them on the field playing is different effort And sometimes, and you know this, Pete, you don't always have to have the best players to win.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
I mean, because
I just don't want to be. I'm just trying not to be a victim of the moment. Because
if we keep it a bill, the year that we won the Super Bowl, we absolutely were not the best team. We weren't the best team. We just weren't. We didn't have the best as far as the best players on our squad.
No, I'm not denying that.
We didn't have that.
What I'm saying is the stats and the play and the swagger, we've seen it before. I think we've seen this before.
I've never seen their swagger like that before. I've seen their false bravado. I've seen their false bravado before, where they don't really believe what they're saying. But this time, what they're saying is actually, I can see that difference on the field. I can. It feels different to me.
I'm just saying 4 or 5 weeks ago, we were basically telling Michael Parsons to shut the hell up because he was whining like a baby.
I still tell Michael Parsons to shut the hell up because they haven't won anything.
But that ain't the same. So you're saying Dak Prescott is giving you a better
I said Dak Prescott is different.
But you started saying they. When you said they, I started adding in the defense, which I don't think.
No, but when I say they, I'm talking about they and their effort on the field. Okay. Their effort on the field is different.
I think if somebody like San Francisco or somebody like the Rams run and punch them in the mouth, we're going to really see. We'll see.
And don't get me wrong, again, now the only team I don't think that they're going to be able to really go out there and manhandle, I don't think they're going to be able to beat the 49ers, which also disgusts me because then that means that they make it to the NFC Championship game and I'm going to have to pull for the 49ers and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, but like I said before, there's a team out there that everybody's sleeping on in the NFC. And I'm going to tell you right now, the Rams got healthy at the right time. And I'm telling you, the type of team that they are, they run the football and they beat people up more than what people think. And if they mess around and get one win, who do they play? They play
Detroit.
They can beat Detroit. Like as good as as much as we like Detroit, because I think collectively we kind of like that team a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
They can mess around and get their ass whipped at home this weekend coming up. They can mess around and get their if they don't play some football. They better play some football because the Rams ain't got nothing to lose. They ain't got nothing to lose.
And the thing is that I don't think they're gonna have that full complement because their tight end Laporta got hurt.
Oh, you're right. I saw that flashed up. So
Yeah. So I don't think Laporta's gonna be able to play.
That's a big loss. That's a huge loss.
Huge. Because he is absolutely Jared Goff's outlet.
He was balling. And he was balling. But I'm just saying the Rams got healthy at the right time.
Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not sleeping on the Rams. And again, I'm not predicting the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl. No. I'm just saying that if they make it to the NFC Championship, I'm not going to be surprised.
Yeah. I'm not going to be surprised.
I don't want it to happen. Don't get me wrong. I don't want it to happen.
All the teams, any team, right? I mean, it's about a matchup, about certain flaws. It's about health. And to your point, you can't just, switch here, switch there. That don't work. Like I said, Dak is playing good football. I give him that. I just still see Mike McCarthy as the coach. I still see that defense can get beat up. So we'll see. We'll see what the deal is. I mean, on that, I think the KFC is a little bit more. It's going to be, to me, it's more interesting than the AFC because I don't think we know exactly what to expect. Honestly, if you look at Cleveland and Houston, right? Houston, like the Detroit Lions last year, they winning games. They ain't supposed to be winning, but they winning. So will we be really surprised if they win another one? No. But then will we be surprised if Cleveland go in there and beat them up? No.
No, because I think if Cleveland goes in there and beats them up, I think it's going to be their defense.
Oh, no doubt.
But don't get me wrong. Not that old man Joe Flacco is a baller.
I told you, comeback player of the year, 5 weeks. Comeback player of the year. You needed 5 weeks to get that.
5 weeks to get the comeback player of the year.
That's all you need.
Like that man balling. Like he balling. I was like, listen, that man is dipping and doing it.
And the Steelers play who? The Steelers play who?
The Steelers play
Buffalo.
The Bills. Yeah, they play the Bills.
If Buffalo play like they played against the Dolphins this weekend, if Josh Allen beat Josh Allen in the first half, Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know what
they don't have TJ Watt this weekend though.
Yeah, I get that, and I agree. I know that, but my thing is, I don't know if Mason Rudolph has been drinking the stuff that Dan Campbell has been giving his players, whatever that stuff was. But what the hell? Why all of a sudden he knows how to throw the ball now? Like for 3 years, we was like, this dude's is terrible. Why is he on the team? Now he knows how to throw the ball all of a sudden. Like, what's going on with Mason Rudolph?
He's trying to get comeback player of the year too. I don't know.
Probably.
Look, everybody's trying to get comeback player of the year. So since we have somebody on here with the opening at coaching,
you know what? I was about to go there. Is
there someone on your wish list? Sorry. We're not.
Here's how I'm gonna change your not change your question, but add to your question. Is there someone on your wish list that you know Tepper and them will allow to be the coach?
Oh, absolutely not.
That's
absolutely not.
Because that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, who would they be okay coming in to be the coach? Because I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, is there a name that we know? Right? It's like you said, Lenise. Is there a name that we actually know? Because there's probably a bunch of people out there we don't know. But is there a name that we know that they would be like, yeah, that's cool. Let him come in. He can handle this. He can do this, and we're gonna let him.
But here's the thing, though. He went out and got a search firm for the first time. It's giving him all these good names to look from. And I say good names. I don't know whether they're good or not. You know, at the end of the day, his mindset is still Ben Johnson or bust. So I just don't get it. And then from
his mindset is what?
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson or bust.
Who's that?
Ben Johnson.
Detroit's coach, OC.
Oh, the OC.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Detroit's OC.
Yeah.
Wait, because I was like, we got a Johnson. He don't want him. I know you don't want him to be.
And I don't know why my brain went straight to the Canadian track star Ben Johnson. But anyway.
No.
I was thinking about our OC, and I was like, well, we gotta be. You sure they want him?
So he wants to do.
They're trying to fire him in Philly. Well, let me say this: most Philly fans are trying to fire him in Philly. Yeah, I'm not trying to fire the 1 year hit.
So Tepper wants the guy from Detroit.
He wanted him last year, but Johnson was like, "Nah, I need another year's experience and whatever." And then that's how we ended up on right. But this year, in my opinion, I feel like Johnson's got options, so he don't have to come here. Even though Tepper's probably going to throw a bank at him, I just don't see.
That's what I was going to say. He probably throw some cash. He probably throw some cash at him and promise some fool's gold and tell him he can make some decisions with.
Right.
Get that in writing. They ain't gonna happen.
Yes. Nah, that ain't what you want.
And he fired y'all's GM.
Thank God.
Yeah, that was a good move. That actually was a good move.
Yeah, that was actually a good move. When I saw that,
that made me go,
he
actually might have some sanity to him to do that. Because I'm like, what are you doing? Get rid of that dude.
But he needed a yes man. He needed somebody to take the heat for him. But at the same time, I think the situation in Jacksonville probably put a little more heat on him than what he wanted and what have you. Even though I've heard another story, it's like, okay, well, he was talking about dude. The fan was talking about dude that got hurt. Tepper was taking up for him or whatever. I don't believe that and whatever. I believe, look, he probably sat there and said some slick stuff that he didn't appreciate and what have you. And then his emotions just took the better of him. He threw a drink. So,
even if he was talking about a player that got hurt, sir, you're the owner. You can't throw a drink at anybody.
Thank you.
And I'm still trying to figure out why he didn't get suspended indefinitely and just say,
look, he should have
just stay off the field for a while.
Talking about a player that gets hurt is in poor taste, but that's what fans do. They do a whole lot of stuff in poor taste. That's what fans do. Especially
so if you go to a game live, you're gonna hear
drink at them is liquored up as well.
Like you say, when you go to a live game, you're gonna hear some stuff, you're gonna smell some stuff, you're gonna get a drink spilled on you. It's you at a live game. I don't care if you in the booth, I don't care if you in the suite. You at a live game, you're gonna hear all types of stuff.
All you had to do was just
I've been in games, I done heard people say a bunch of stuff. I'd be like, what? You know, like that came out your mouth? You know, like
right. And you be like, what? Look, and even as an Eagles fan, you hear stuff, I be like, wow. Y'all said that? Okay. I mean, I guess. But
and then I go to games. I'm sitting there going to games. You know, I go to a Dolphin game. I'm like, I thought I was a fan. Y'all nuts. What's wrong with y'all?
Right.
I'm sitting. I'm going to Hard Rock Cafe Field. I'm sitting there. And I'm like, y'all crazy. Like guys, it ain't that serious. Like it's football. Be a fan.
Like, you relax.
Like I'm trying to make it out of here. Y'all nuts. I ain't gonna throw no drink at nobody. I ain't gonna throw no.
Telling me he was defending a dude. First of all, if the dude is injured, you can't defend him. Like, stop it. I don't want to hear that.
But the bottom line is, you suppose, just like Irsay, just like some of these other cats, man. Like I said, these cats, I know they're human. I know they're gonna make mistakes, but just like anything else, you gotta hold yourself at you're supposed to. And this is what's bothering
yourself at a higher standard.
You're supposed to, right? You're supposed to hold yourself, right, at that higher standard.
Right.
And then that way, if you have a reputation of doing that, then we would look at it as a mistake. We know Tepper ain't got no higher standard. So what he did was probably his normal character of just how he treats people, period.
In general.
In general. We've seen people go, oh man, I ain't never seen that before from this person. Like if Mike Tomlin all of a sudden just wild the hell out and just start cussing, we're going to be like, you know what? I'm going to give him a mulligan on that. I'm going to give him a pass. Mike Tomlin has gone through so much rigor, so much scrutiny, and still has had a losing season as a head coach. Still somehow pulls off voodoo black magic to get his teams in the playoffs with no quarterback. So if he wants to come on the podium one day and just start cussing at cats, just random cussing, we're going to be like, damn, that ain't cool, but we're going to get time to pass. Tepper, we ain't giving Tepper no damn pass on that.
Yeah, you don't get a pass, sir.
Freaking idiot.
But okay, Rod, so we know who Tepper wants. Who do you want? Even if you don't think
who do you want? Who would you like to see come in there? Who do you think could turn that around, or at least start to turn it in the right direction?
Jesus can't turn it around at this particular point.
Okay, but you got to start, Rod. You got to start turning the wheel. It may not go.
You got to start somewhere, friend.
But Rod, you got to start turning it just a little bit. Even if it gets stuck right here, you got to turn it just a little bit, Rod.
Right. You got to try, friend. Somebody got to start.
Seriously though, we're being serious though. Who you think? I mean, you think if you think a guy like Harbaugh or somebody like him could do it, could come in there.
Harbaugh probably could, but the thing with Harbaugh is he's going to want more control than Tepper's going to want to give up.
Understood. Understood.
But
Harbaugh he's
got
yeah, he's got the pedigree. He's got the
coach.
Coach quarterback.
We're going to take this out of. We're going to take
Rod, you're the owner of the Panthers. Rod,
who do you want? Like that's the question at hand. Not who do you think Tepper's going to allow to do the job.
Who do you want?
Who do you think is going to be a good coach in Carolina? Who do you want?
I know who I would want. We curious.
If it were me, I'd bring Steve Wilkes back. If it were me.
Interesting.
But. Okay. You know, since I don't own the team, Tepper's not going.
Interesting choice. That's an interesting choice.
That's an interesting choice. But I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Go for it.
You're gonna bring Steve Wilkes back, and is he going to be able to help your young quarterback?
See, that's what I'm looking.
But here's the thing, though. Are we sure that all these other folks that we talk about are going to be able to help him?
Well, but here's my thing. I'm going to go off. The only thing we can go off is what we've seen, what we think we know, and what results
and what we've seen
and the results we have. And that's why the first name that came to my head. I'm not saying because if I'm Harbaugh, I wouldn't want the job with other stuff out there.
I wouldn't want the job either.
But if a person like
Harbaugh, that's what
everybody has a pedigree, he's been a winning coach in college and pros. He's a former quarterback, and he's developed decent, good quarterback. Like he's put some guys in positions to be probably like Colin Kaepernick had skills, but let's not forget Harbaugh was the coach of that dude. You know what I'm saying? And coach that dude to be better than what.
Keep in mind, everybody thought Alex Smith was a bust until Harbaugh coached
and Harbaugh coached him and brought him back, and he wound up being a really pretty decent quarterback. But the bottom line,
everybody was on Alex Smith was a first round number one pick bust.
That's kind of like
Harbaugh came in there and was like, we can fix this. And he did and turned him into a decent quarterback. So, but I would also say, because you have a young quarterback, I would also say Eric Bieniemy.
That's who I was thinking too. Because if he's not going to get that job in Washington, I would fight tooth and nail to get Eric Bieniemy in there. I would fight
because again, here's what we know. Because here's what we know: Eric Bieniemy works well with young quarterbacks.
He will figure something out. I think he will figure something out. But I think OC in Detroit. I think now that you say that, I'm thinking he's been playing. I mean, that team. I mean, they are pretty decent on offense, so I could see that too. I don't know if he would be able to develop a young quarterback.
Or the OC in Houston.
Yeah,
I was thinking him. I couldn't think of his name though.
But I tell you what, given what C.J. Stroud has done, I guarantee you they're gonna try to pay him. They're gonna try to pay to keep him.
Oh, for sure.
They're gonna try to pay to keep him. But I want to
say, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like he interviewed for some jobs. He was on the list last year, but because he had never been a coordinator, because he came from San Fran with D'Amico.
Yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it.
Because he came from San Fran with D'Amico to Houston.
I remember that.
To get the OC job because his name was on the list, and I can't remember. I don't know. I think he might have been the quarterbacks coach in San Fran when D'Amico was. Slowick. Yep. Yeah. He was in San. He was in San Fran to go to Houston to be the OC. So Houston's definitely gonna try to pay him and keep him.
Yeah.
But he's definitely on the list this year for head
no doubt. Somebody's gonna try to snatch him up. But like I said, if he leaves and picks and gets a job, nobody's gonna be surprised. I'm just saying, given the success you've had and just in his first year and the talent of the receivers you have and then Schultz, Dalton Schultz, all of a sudden remember he was Dalton Schultz. You know what I'm saying? Like, sorry, Lenise.
Too late to save my fantasy football season.
Right. I'm trying to think. And then Arthur Smith, he getting pissed. Hold up, let's talk about this Jamies Winston. Jamies Winston. What is this man said? What, you want us to kneel? Nah, bro, we running the ball. Did y'all see?
Yeah. Well, now here's my thing though, because after it was over, and they talked to Jameis and they talked to the other players, they asked him on the sideline, whoever the running back was that they had run the ball.
It was Jamal Williams. It was Jamal Williams.
Yes.
They were trying to get him a touchdown.
The coach, could they get him a touchdown because he hadn't had a touchdown all season?
Right.
And the coach said no. And when they got on the field, the team decided as a unit. It wasn't because everybody's like, it was just Jameis that made the decision. And everybody was like, nah, we decided as a unit that we wanted our man to get this touchdown.
Oh, I'm not blaming Jameis single-handedly by any means. I'm just laughing at the fact that he was basically
the face of this.
He taking the face of it, and he is the quarterback of the play. So he could easily have said, nah, guys, we're going to just down it. No, Jameis was like, let's do this. Let's do it.
Jameis was with the shits.
Yeah.
He was like, let's get it done.
What was it? Somebody, I saw a meme in one of the sports group I'm in, and it was hilarious, where they had a picture of Jamies Winston doing this, and it was like, if I send you this, know that I heard everything you said, and I'm still going to do what I want to do.
Do what I want to do.
I was like, yes. Oh, but did you see what I dropped in the group that Jimmy Graham said?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
You know, Jimmy Graham, like, that's the you right there. You know, you and Florida State kind of combined on that thing, right? You like,
listen, when I was like, Jimmy, I felt that deep down in my shana, because he went on this whole rant talking about how great Jameis was as a teammate and everything, and then got to the end and was like, also, F the Falcons.
Yeah. I'm laughing because here's my thing.
With all because I felt like when I saw also, that also was loaded, because I felt like the also was like, with as much disrespect as I can tell you,
I can possibly muster.
Yeah, F the Falcons. I was like,
And they talking about the
Saints.
Talking about the Saints coach, your boy talking about they should fire him because he ain't got no control. No, they should fire him because the Saints shouldn't have been that damn bad this year. They should not have been that damn bad this year. That's what they should fire him for, not because of that one play. Because of that one play. Come on, guys.
Like the team doesn't respect them. They don't respect them because they're not winning. Okay.
They suck. Stop with these.
And did you see the post-game interview with Jamies?
Yeah.
That thing, Rod, did you see that?
Nah, I missed that.
The reporter was trying to carry Jamies for filth at his locker, and Jamies was having none of it.
Right.
None of it, because he was trying to talk to that man about, making the decision, this, that, and the third, and he said, I just feel like it was poor sportsmanship. And Jamies said, so it wasn't poor sportsmanship to beat them 41-10, but 48-10 is poor sportsmanship.
We got to get Jamies to pass on that.
No, like I said, I'm not mad at James. I'm just laughing at the fact that it's James. Like, of all the faces of seeing something like that happen, it's like he's the perfect specimen for those shenanigans. He's the perfect.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Go no.
I'm just saying.
Like,
when I saw that, he was like, "Yeah, we did it."
Right. And he was just, but this guy was like, he said, well, we made, because the guy kept asking me, he said, Jamies was like, let me understand, what are you upset about? Right. He's like, well, because y'all scored that touchdown. He said, so the 41-10 you were okay with, 48-10 is disrespectful. Like, he was just, and so, and it was even funnier because then Jamies was like, he said, so if we had scored not on that last play, he said, but if we'd have scored before then, and he'd have just ran it into the end zone, would that have been disrespectful?
Right.
And the reporter was like, well, no. Jamies said, okay. He said, so help me understand. Because, like, Rob, when I told you he was having none of it, because he was like, I'm going to need you to explain to me why you mad about this play.
Nobody's like, poo-pooing at the whole concept of you kneel and all that stuff. But we also know there's, like, to your point, I mean, like, you got blowed out by 30-something points. Your team sucks. It's the last game of the season. Who freaking cares? Like,
your coach got fired on the tarmac.
You know you're going to get fired the next day. You know it's coming.
No. Before
not even
midnight.
The next day. They fired that man before the day was over.
That's what I'm saying.
They fired him on the tarmac.
Anyway, man.
Keep me out of here.
I did talk about that because I was cracking up. I was like, good old Jamies out there with them damn crab legs. Anyway.
Go no. Go no.
Never forget.
And people tend to forget this man did win a national title. Like you tend to forget. Like we think about his football NFL career. I'm like, he did. The dude was a baller in college, man. The dude was throwing the hell out of it.
Folks act like they were like, because then Shannon Sharp was like, well, he wasn't that good of a quarterback. Where he got a whole national title.
But shoot, man, I don't know. I guess what's your taking your bias out of it? Who you got? I mean, well, I got the Eagles figuring out, man. If y'all cannot lose to Baker Mayfield, man. I like Baker too.
We gonna win this game.
Y'all gotta beat Baker, man. The only good thing about y'all losing, that game would be Todd Bowles. Everybody was trying to fire him early in the season. And Todd Bowles will get another playoff victory under him. But
listen, okay. So for NFC, I've got the Eagles.
I'm taking the Eagles. Who you got, Rod?
49ers.
No, I'm talking about Eagles or Bucks. We're going game by game.
We're going by game this weekend.
Yeah, Eagles.
Yeah.
All right. And then next up, we got Dallas, Green Bay.
Don't make me pick Dallas.
I know, I hate it, but I'm gonna take Dallas.
We're gonna have to.
I'm gonna take Dallas.
If you had a little bit of change in your pocket and you was forced to bet it, you're gonna take Dallas.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Dallas because they haven't shown me anything at home this year that tells me they're gonna lose the game.
Nah, you gotta take Dallas. I'm
gonna take Dallas. And then we have who's the other?
The Rams in Detroit. I'm taking the Rams in the upset. I'm taking the Rams. Maybe I'm just nuts, but I'm taking. And
How about
two
you, Rod?
things. Laporta, like you said, Laporta is a big deal to me, and the defense doesn't get pressure on the quarterback. And Stafford has been playing well, and they're running the football well, and they still got two guys.
And they're playing in Detroit,
which Stafford loves to play in Detroit.
That's fair. I am.
Go ahead.
I'm on the fence, but I think
you going with the sawdust.
I actually think I'm gonna take the Rams.
That's what I thought. What you think, Rod?
I actually think I'm gonna take the Rams and not Detroit. So who you taking, Rod?
I'm taking Detroit.
That's all good. Ain't nobody mad. I think it's a pick'em game, but I think the Rams are gonna get one.
I don't know. Okay. I feel like Amon-Ra gonna break out and do something with Laporta.
He might. He's got the capability to do it. That little dude.
He might. So you might be right.
That little dude can ball out.
But usually there's an upset.
At least one.
And usually there's always an upset wild card weekend on both sides in both conferences. And I feel like if there's an upset, that's gonna be the one.
Well, here's my deal. We know it ain't gonna be no upset with the Chiefs and the Dolphins. I'm taking my bias out of it. We ain't winning that damn game. If we win that game, I'll come on here with a white beater. I'll come on here with a white beater.
Had y'all won, I would have taken Miami in Miami. But I'm gonna go ahead and.
But we would have been playing. But we no. I'm gonna be honest with you. Had we won and still had the injuries, I would have still been scared of that game because we'd have had to play Buffalo again.
Oh, that's right. Y'all wouldn't have had the Chiefs come.
We were in a rock and a hard place because we would have won the game. We would have still had to play Buffalo.
That's right. Buffalo would have came back. That's right. I forgot about that.
And it's hard to beat a team. You know what I'm saying? Like that back to back.
2 times in a row.
Especially when you got injuries like that. So my bottom line is the Dolphins just. If the game that you stands out for me, and I'm sorry to jump, was the Tennessee game. If we would have put that game away, the stuff would have worked out different and even the matchups. But yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs on that. I hate to say it. I mean, I'm not gonna be a homer on that. We win the game. I'll come in here with a white beater and a top hat on. So.
Rod, are you taking the Chiefs too? Look, I'm not gonna address the white beater and top hat. You taking the Chiefs?
I'm taking the Chiefs.
Okay, and next we have Buffalo and the Steelers. Who you taking?
Dog. Dang, man, that's a hard one. Because if Josh Allen, man, the Steelers, but that's the thing. It's like, do you still believe the Steelers can still put up? Yeah, but Buffalo's defense is banged up again.
Jay is out.
Huh?
I'm taking the Steelers.
Oh, I'm gonna give Josh Allen one. I'm taking the Bills. I'm gonna give Josh Allen one.
I'm gonna take the Steelers on this one.
I ain't mad at you. I'm not mad at you. There's nothing.
Now I don't know how they gonna do it without TJ
Watt.
Voodoo
and black magic.
Because they are, which I didn't realize this until the day when they were talking about it. You so stupid.
They doing this right here.
The black magic. Look,
that's what he's doing.
Because the Steelers are 1-10 without TJ Watt.
Oh God!
So I'm going with they're gonna be.
Holy
2-10.
crap! Yeah, I'm taking the Bills.
But somehow
that's a real stat right there, Rod. That's a
real stat.
I'm just trying to figure out, knowing that stat, you still pick the Steelers
because she's saying it's gonna be voodoo and black magic. Something's gonna come out of this hat, and it's gonna be some type of win. Is what she's saying. She's going with the Kappa. She's going with the Kappa.
2 things.
Happy Founders Day.
The Steelers 1-2 punch with their run game.
Yeah.
Has gotten way better over the past. Like each week has gotten increasingly better.
They got to stay.
The Bills are terrible at the run, and they're really banged up on defense.
Yep.
And I feel like if they can keep it close and play Steelers football, they'll figure out a way to win it in the end. Because the weather to me is not a factor. Because the Steelers, that ain't gonna bother them. It can be cold, rainy, snowy, whatever.
The only thing that could bother them is the noise, because Buffalo do get loud.
The noise could bother them.
But if they're running the football, that's not a big deal. That's
Right.
honestly not a big
So,
deal. The noise
I feel
comes into
like
play when you're trying to pass. I tell people all the time, it's noisy. I'm like, if you're running the football, the noise is not a factor. You just hand the ball off.
It's when you're trying to pass the ball that it's a factor.
Yeah. Bills,
I'm taking the Steelers. Y'all taking the Bills. Last game is the Texans and the Browns.
Oh, God.
And they're playing in Houston. Who you with?
I don't think.
Who you with?
Oh, God, man. How can you bet against the Browns right now? As much as I like CJ Stroud, man, something is going on with the Browns right now.
And that's where I'm at. I like CJ a lot, but
oh my God, he's still a rookie. I love him, but he's still a rookie. He's still a rookie.
I'm taking the Browns.
He's a good rookie.
I'm taking the Browns.
He's a hella rookie.
One reason right here.
He's the rookie of the year, offensive.
He's the rookie of the year offensively. However, in the playoffs, and we're gonna go with stats. I know I went against the stat numbers in my last pick, but this time I'm rolling with the stats in this pick. 4 times in the playoffs, the number one defense has faced the number one rookie QB in the playoffs. And 4 times the QB has lost. The Browns are the number one defense in the league.
You know what though?
I'm a ride with defense.
I'm taking the Browns, but the funny thing about it is, it's like something's got to give, right? You talk about the Browns.
Something's got to give.
Hey,
I'm
talking about from a franchise standpoint. You got the Browns and you got the Texans. Like somebody got to win a playoff game.
And also, on a sympathetic note. For our main man that's not with us tonight.
I ain't thinking about him.
I'm gonna pick the Browns for Jason because normally I don't pick the Browns for nothing.
Nobody's thinking about him.
I'm gonna ride out with the Browns on behalf of our man Jason.
I ain't thinking about him. We'll come back next week and talk about the next week. I mean, I got my feel of where he was gonna make it to the Super Bowl, but and it's not what everybody like. Yeah, we'll talk about it. I don't even want to get into it, but. Who they beat? Did we lose Lenny?
She's quiet, so yeah, we lost her.
Nope.
Connected to the audio, but then muted.
There she is. Oh, she's
on the phone. She's on the phone.
I'm on my phone because for some reason my Wi-Fi kicked off on my laptop and it made me the whole laptop locked up. So I had to reboot. So I was like, oh, it'll be easier to get it on my phone.
Man, I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate you trying to get back on there, Lanice, and fighting the system there.
Fighting the system. Listen,
fight the power.
It's still windy out here, so it's a little sketchy. It's not as bad as it was though earlier today. Because earlier today I thought it was gonna come in and get me.
But we let's keep our heads on the swivel on all this coaching stuff. I'm still curious what they're gonna do with Belichick. I think personally, and this is my last take. I think he stays one more year. I think they let him ride it out.
Yeah,
I do too.
All right. Peace out.
All right, cool. Talk to y'all next week. Holla.
All right. Y'all take care.